Hi, everyone, and welcome to Marketing Corner, episode 39.
Sheesh.
You had to do it.
No, yeah, 39. Wow.
What is 39 special to you for a reason?
No, not at all. I'm older than me. It's more than my age, but it's good.
Very personally attacked right now.
Yeah.
But that's fine. That's fine. I still heart you.
Yeah. Close to 40. I think that's a pretty big milestone.
That is, yeah. It's a big round one. But it's no indicator of humans' age. I mean, age is nothing but a number. But
Slowing down, peeps, don't worry.
all right. And Casper, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about AI. So this is part 2 of our series. The first one we talked about ChatGPT. We talked about use cases, ethics, morals, all that jazz. Kind of covered the whole AI, what we think about it in general. And this time we're just gonna talk about tools.
Yes. Tool talk.
Tool talk.
Tool talk.
There's been a lot of talk about.
I asked you to be muted. White job. He had one job.
Anyways, so the AI tools, we're essentially, there's a lot of tools out there. And before this episode, I was looking at a list with like 30, 40 different AI tools. A lot of people are talking about ChatGPT right now. There's also Board, which we can cover in a small 5-minute segment or 5-second about what Google is working on right now. But essentially, but there's a bunch of other tools that also use the same language model as ChatGPT does. And some of them are really cool. Some of them do some really cool stuff. And some of them we tried, and some of them we just think are cool, and it's on our to-do list of trying.
So you've probably used a few more of these than I have, so I'd love for you to kick it off with your tool number 1.
Yes. I want to talk about the first one being Midjourney. So Midjourney is an image generator based on prompts. So I was looking for, there's a lot of these. I think these are really interesting because, of course, you can do all the interesting like ChatGPT and Jasper that we'll cover about copywriting and everything. All things considered, this is going to sound a little bit harsh, but those are simple. Like we're here where you're generating an image based on a prompt. And like for me, that's totally mind-blowing. So I was looking for a solution for that. I was testing OpenAI. I can never forget their name, but they have their own version, which I tried, which was really bad. It was like blurred images and like distorted images and stuff. But Midjourney I've been liking a lot. One of my friends from my networking group, a guy called Morton, he showed a few cases where he's used it to generate his image for a book he's been writing.
Okay.
So he generated the front page image, and he gave us a few examples of how to do prompts. I can share them in the transcripts after. Super cool. Like Midjourney is really cool, and it's good for, I've used a little bit to mess around with logo generation. And I can tell you this much, I'm working on our website right now and using it to kind of give some ideas of what some images could be.
Cool. That's exciting. I mean, that's a huge resource for a lot of marketing teams of having a designer and having something in-house and being able to kind of capture the essence of what it is you're trying to say. Yeah. So having an AI that can generate that it's
amazing.
Yeah.
And suddenly, like, that's the beauty of these tools. I think that's really the beauty for me of these tools is that you have suddenly you have this. So you have Midjourney, then you combine it with your old school Canva. So I'm like graphically a complete non-go, right? I have no clue what I'm doing. But if you combine those two, suddenly I can do things. Like I'm not a graphic designer. I won't design I haven't designed my website myself, right? But I can get shit done.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. Like we need an image for this. Like I'm launching a bunch of stuff for customers. I fucking did the ads. I did the not only the copy, but also did the visuals.
Yeah.
And I can suddenly do that because I have access to stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
And before it was just me and Canva. Now it's me and Canva and Midjourney.
Right.
And that's really good.
Yeah.
But I want to add one thing, and just like all the other tools, especially these ones where it's like very prompt based, it's about writing good prompts.
Okay.
Like the secret to all these AI tools, especially these like Midjourney and ChatGPT, Jasper and stuff, writing good prompts.
Mm-hmm.
So being good at instructing the AIs of what to do, being very specific. Like let me give an example of what Morton wrote. I think this is a great one. So he wanted a book cover where it says like World of Beer. I don't want any text. I want a vector illustration. I want it to be layered. I want it to be in vector style. I want it to be stylized. I want it to be 2D digital art, and I want it to have sharp edges. Like, that's a really good prompt.
That you know what you want.
Then he knows what he wants, right? And he's tuned this.
Mm-hmm.
And being capable of doing that puts you so much ahead.
And that is the kind of brief you would give a designer and then they would go away.
I would even be able
something.
to do that to a designer.
Yeah.
but if you could do that, yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
So so Midjourney first on the list. It's a really good one.
Mhm.
Try it out. I think it's really cool. It's in open beta right now.
Cool. Nice. Yeah. No, definitely check it out. Do you see any, like, one of the questions that'll come up, right? Is it replacing designers?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No. But it's replacing it's like the same with the copywriters. It's the same thesis, right? It's not replacing copywriters. It's replacing the bad ones. So the ones were like the small tasks. The ones were like, hey, Casper, can you quickly spin out a picture for this small thing? Yes, that's being replaced. Is it replacing the brand identity for Anomondo or for Sparkforce or the CVI or all that stuff? I don't see that happening right now. Like that, maybe potentially, I don't know, but I don't think so. I think the bigger creative things, no way.
Yeah.
Not right now. But it's definitely the smaller tasks. Yes.
And it would be, it's actually, I'm just thinking out loud, but it would be an interesting for A/B testing, right? Because there's a lot of times I know with designers where you're like, give me this, and then give me this, and give me a wild card. That's usually what I say to my designers. So I'm kind of testing two things, and then I'm throwing something else in there. But maybe with a tool like this, I can do that myself. I can kind of say, give me this and this and this, and then I can say to my designer, okay, based on my A/B testing, this is what I want. And then it's a better use of the designer's time because you're not having them just kind of give you different versions of everything over and over again. So that could actually speed things up quite a bit.
And that's so I talked with one of the advisors for Sparkforce. I can say this now, but it's called he's called Gus Murray. He's also one of the Marketing Connect mentors. Super cool guy. We were talking about all these tools, and he has a creative agency. And in the past, what they would do is that they would get these briefs from customers, right? It'd be like, hey, we want something like this. In the past, it would be like, okay, cool. And then it would be like 1, 2, whatever days, a set amount of days, and they get back and, hey, what do you think of this? Now it literally is like, so the designers take these, I don't know if they use Midjourney or something else, but let's say they use Midjourney, and then they literally do the prompts because they've trained themselves to be this good. And then they write these briefs and then they spit out and they say something like this in like 5 minutes sometimes in the workshops. He tells me. So they use it to get like an idea.
Yeah.
Like to align, to say like, okay, are we on the same page? Is this what we're looking for?
That's interesting.
And that's amazing. I think that's amazing.
Such a better, because I know every designer I talk to, that's the frustration. Is like, this is the brief I got. I spent a day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever, building it. And they're like, that's not what we want. Imagine immediately going, you mean like this? No. You mean like this? No. And then leave that meeting with a clearer brief.
It could be something similar where you go like, hey, I'm looking for a 2D digital art. And I'm like, no, I was actually looking for 3D. Ah, okay, cool. Solved.
People, but fix it and
and moving on. And I think for those purposes, and Dad, when he told me about that use case, I was like, mind blown. It's super smart. I have another use case where somebody used it, where it was not actually the image generation part, but it was how a designer can use AI in essence.
Mm-hmm.
So typically a designer, when you have to do website, they also have to know a little code sometimes.
Yeah.
Like to be able to code. So in this case, they had to, I can't remember if it was like implement some sort of calculator that needed some styling. So they did all the styling and then they got the AI to write the code for the calculator. So suddenly the designer did the whole thing. Instead of having to involve the coder, they actually got them to do the whole thing. I didn't think I think this was ChatGPT, but I even think they got them to do the CSS part of it. So that's like, it's mind blowing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It just comes back to what we talked about last time, but it's like endless opportunity, and it can make you more efficient. It can make you better.
Yeah,
like, and if you you gotta go for it.
I think that's really exciting with these tools. If we could take away the mundane stuff, think of what's possible. Yeah, exactly. When we actually can apply our brains on proper things as opposed to these kind of...
Exactly.
Wow. Speaking of which...
Next to...
Synthesia.
Yes. You know a little bit about that one, right?
This one I've used. We use this at Dixa, and it's... I mean, when I saw it, I was like, who's this chick that we hired? We used the female... I don't know, actress? I don't know what to call her.
AI actress.
The AI actress. But yeah, I mean, there's a little creepy factor.
Let's be real, there's a lot.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, if you're not looking for it, it's not. It was pretty good. You know, we couldn't really. I remember at the time it was for customer support, and we wanted to get some videos up very quickly. And finding a videographer and getting into a studio and getting someone who was comfortable enough on camera to do this. And everything was like, ugh. It was very time consuming in the setup. So it was like, okay, we're going to use this tool. It was not cheap. I don't remember what it cost, but we definitely did like the corporate package. Okay. But I cannot remember the cost, but I remember it was ugh. Do you want to do that?
It's not cheap. I think they're moving. Like I talked to one of their, I don't think it's founder, but one of the pretty high levels up there. They get so much inbound traffic they can't keep up. Like it's literally like
the dream.
Like the dream. But just for everyone listening, Jen, maybe.
Oh yeah, sorry, I jumped right in. So Synthesia is like it's a video. You could create videos of someone talking, a human being talking based on a script that you upload. Yes. So you don't need an actress, you don't need cameras, you don't need any of that. It is completely AI generated based on the script that you give them. Yes. So it's a really great tool for people who are doing a lot of videos and don't have maybe on-camera talent or the in-house ability to do a video or don't want to spend thousands on a crew to come in. And so that was
it's essentially like it goes in hand in hand with the deep fake, everything of like it's a deep fake tool.
Yes.
Like essentially that's what
and it's
really see the version with Tom Cruise, right? I think Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt was like the like poster boys for being used. I've seen some of these videos with Tom Cruise. I'm like,
did he say that? Or yeah. And that's the ethical thing for me that I have a problem with. But if we're talking in terms of marketing, this is, again, it's a pretty cool tool if you have a lot of videos you need to get done in a very short amount of time.
It's an amazing tool. So I'm going to tell here about Black Hat Hack that one of my friends told me about that he said, don't tell anyone here. I'm telling about it on a podcast.
No one's listening. Just you. Casper, it's just you and me. It's just you and me. It's just you and me.
He did something crazy. I was mind blown when he showed me this. So what he did was he hooked Synthesia up. So he's a product guy. Like he's a coder. He's super smart. What he did was he hooked Synthesia up with, I think it was just ChatGPT, and then he hooked it up with Instagram, in this case.
Okay.
So he got ChatGPT to automatically generate based on trendy topics. So what are trendy topics that people talk a lot about? AI or let's use a normal topic. Let's talk about demand generation. Demand generation. And then ChatGPT would write a video script on demand generation because it was a trendy topic, and then would automatically send it to Synthesia. He would make like the integrations with Zapier, I think. And then he would send it to Synthesia, which would automatically generate a video with someone talking, explaining the concept of demand generation, and then it would automatically upload it to Instagram to his channel. But I was blown away. Like
this is not a video medium, but my head is in my hands.
So essentially he's growing an Instagram channel with like, of course he had to build in this, I don't know, let's say there's 5-10% manual work, but like that's it.
Casper, what are you going to do when the robots take over? I bow down before you, our robot overlords, because that's that's amazing that he came up with that, but that's fucking terrifying.
It's a little bit against the rules of Instagram, not mentioning any names or anything. But point being that it's even possible is kind of where I'm like, what?
Yeah. But this is kind of what we were talking about in the last episode where we said you could hook up ChatGPT to a Google Sheets of like, what are the trends? And then have another prompt that says,
right, me is even crazy, right?
Yeah, because now it's a video.
Just imagine this. Just imagine this. You tune it, and you suddenly start getting followers on your Instagram channel who's completely AI generated, and you start getting sponsored posts and stuff, and start making money off your AI generated Instagram channel.
What a time to be alive!
God.
Well, that's going to be like the TikTok, right? That's the next one. It's putting that on TikTok, and that's where that's...
No, I don't think there's anything stopping him in Peru and TikTok. Like, and I think there's already people doing this.
Yeah.
If he knows about it, and there's probably people.
And this is one of the things you said in the last episode, or the last AI episode, rather, was that, if this is what people are doing now, imagine what's been happening with real deep tech, nerdy people in the know. Dang. That's that's mind-blowing. But what are your thoughts on AI generated videos? I mean, is it something you use? Is it something that you
haven't used it too much yet? I've used Synthesia just slightly, just for testing. I think it's amazing. It's excellent. Just it's one of those. It hasn't come up for me yet. It hasn't been like, hey, this is where I want to use it.
Right.
But it's very high on my list of things that I keep looking to it. So I know there's gonna be cases for it.
Right.
I want to try some fun stuff around it for Smart Force, but I haven't had time to do it, to be honest.
Interesting. Yeah, I like that there's also diverse spokespeople and stuff like that, that, you know, you can pick and choose, and I think that's really great. And it could be interesting for A/B testing as well. And there's so many possibilities. But yeah, I think it's efficiency rather than getting a crew, writing the script, getting the people, oh, cut, no, you messed that part up, cut, you know, and then if your product changes or something changes, you need to update the video. Instead of bringing everyone back, you just update the script and run it again, and the robot does the talking. Bonkers. What's your next one? Yep.
So this one is actually a new favorite of mine. I've been using quite a bit. Quite a bit is pushing it. But let's talk about Otter. Otter AI. So Otter, like you know, the animal otter. I don't know if people can see me. It's like this is an otter. Yes. this is.
And wait, have you seen the otters hold hands? Should we do an otter? Anyway, where were we?
So Otter is this AI that joins your meetings, whether it's Google Meet, Zoom, Teams meetings, wherever, and then it records them. So it's like a personal assistant. And the part of it that's interesting is that it transcribes the meetings. So after your meeting, it transcribes and goes, hey, this is what you talked about in the meeting. And the reason I looked to find that, I heard it from a guy called Paul English, I think his name is, like the investor from the US. He was like, he's been using it, and because I have a lot of meetings with potential clients and with clients. And sometimes I have meetings with clients where I'm like, hey, I need to give this to my team so they can execute on some of the things. And right now I take notes, and that's fine, that works. But I was like, there gotta be a better way to grab the notes or grab all the to-dos from the meeting and pass it on to my team. So that's what I'm looking for. I don't think Otter is perfect, as what I'm pointing out, but it's because it only works in English right now. And there's other tools that does it in other languages that I need to test. But Otter, what it does is pretty awesome. Like when it really works, you're like, okay, that's exactly what we talked about, like 95% accuracy.
Okay, so it's because that's what worries me too. If it's like, this is what I talked about, and I don't know if we recall my subtitle.
Debacle.
Yeah, debacle, where it says your cock is going up and up and up. You definitely don't want that being mentioned in a meeting. So, but you would say it's pretty accurate?
It's pretty accurate. When don't do it in Danish.
Don't do it in Danish. Don't do it.
I had it doing it was doing one of my meetings today in Danish. It was like, it was talking about striking infants. That's what it translated. I was like, that's really not what we're talking about.
90% sure.
90% sure that's not what we're talking about. Jesus. So it doesn't work for other languages. Only English, but it's pretty good. And my hope is to get to a point where I can use it to transcribe my meetings and then get ChatGPT to summarize those notes and put those action points into Monday that I use as a project. That's kind of my roadmap for how I want to do
That would be cool.
That's what I'm working on. I haven't solved it yet, but that's my goal.
Nice. I think, yeah, again, it's about creating efficiencies, and rather than going, okay, we agreed this in the meeting, you do that, you do this, you do that, you have something already kind of done.
And that's what I want to remove for myself, right? Because we all been there, like when you suddenly sometimes, I'm by all means not a time efficient person in that sense, but we've all had back-to-back meetings, right? Like when you have a meeting and then you go right into the next one, right?
Every day.
Like, then when you look back, it's like, we agreed on something in the first meeting, I took my notes, and then you have to... And then, like, sometimes you have back-to-backs, right? Like, awful days, right? But sometimes you have back-to-backs, and then after they're like, oh, now I gotta write to a team about all these different things, and it's a struggle, and this was...
Yeah, no, that's one of the things I think that I do spend quite a bit of time of, like, okay, action points, you do this, you're gonna do that, and then you get the question of, like, what's the context? And you're like, okay, well, so-and-so, you know, and that would be I could see that being a huge time saver.
Exactly.
Nice. Nice.
Let's talk about tool number 4. That's one of the big ones. Like, so Jasper.
I was hoping you'd bring this one up.
Yeah. Have you used that one?
I haven't used this one, but I did read a fun fact about it while I was preparing for this episode.
Cool.
It used to be called Jarvis,
Yeah.
and it got a cease and desist from Marvel because it became so big that because for those who don't know, those who aren't nerds, Jarvis is Iron Man's virtual assistant, and they got a cease and desist from Marvel. I think one of my goals in life is to get a cease and desist from Marvel.
That would be sick. I'm hoping
That would be sick.
Get one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be sad.
Marvel. Yeah, Marvel. Yeah, come at me. I'll frame it. But yes, talk to us about Jasper.
I don't think there's too much to talk about. Like, it's just it was around before ChatGPT was a thing. Like, it's more focused on copy, and it's really good for producing copy for your landing pages and such. That's where I really like also ads as well. And honestly, to be completely frank, now that ChatGPT is here, I use ChatGPT instead. But before that, I would use Jasper.
Okay. Yeah, so it's copywriting for landing pages and websites,
and it's still good, and it's still really, really good. So you're not making a mistake by using Jasper. I haven't tried it recently, so I might be a little bit out of the loop if there's a feature difference right now. But these days I use ChatGPT because I just find it easier. But Jasper is still really, really good. The thing is, I think they use the same language model.
Right.
So again, it's just about usability and stuff like that.
Yep. Pricing as well, which ChatGPT is winning on that front right now. For now. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. We are hitting our time, so I'm going to let you choose one more, maybe?
I have two.
You have two? Okay.
I'll keep it really brief.
Okay, do it.
So
Go for it.
I'll do the one that's really boring. Or not boring, but...
Please, listeners.
Please. No, but this one, it's pretty cool, but not like revolutionary. So it's Krisp.
Yes.
So Krisp with a K, it essentially removes background voices from calls. So if you have calls you want to use for testimonials or stuff like that, where there's a background noise or something, you can remove all the voices.
So it makes the voice sound like it's in the room as opposed to on like a Zoom, or?
No, but it just removes all the background noise. So let's say you and I are talking here and somebody's blabbling.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. And then you use that video for...
And then you can use that for whatever.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Right. So it's pretty good. Like if you have like, suddenly we all have been there where we record something, maybe a video, and it's like, somebody speaking in the background. Well, then we can get rid of it.
Nice. Okay.
So, and then the last one, this one I haven't tried, but it's very high on my list of things. It's on my to-do list of things I want to try, is something called Browse.ai. So what essentially that Browse AI does is that you can train the AI to scrape website data. So it's a website scraper. I'm used to way back in the day, we used something called data miners to scrape websites, and I think
Yeah.
good old times. And now we can just use Browse AI instead. So as I said, I haven't had the use case for it yet. I'm still looking for it, but essentially what you can do is just you tell it, you instruct it what to do. So I want this data, I want this, and then it starts. Then it builds a model for scraping and it scrapes it.
So it could be something, say, for like an outbound team, like if you're looking for data on particular people to contact or something like that,
or like you can, if you have a LinkedIn search, you can tell it, hey, I want you to take all this data of these LinkedIn people, scrape that, or
is this allowed?
Potentially.
Breaking the law.
I don't know. Like, but you can scrape data on that. Like, we've all done this, so it's not...
Yeah, I just know that like LinkedIn and certain platforms, if they can tell you're using a scraping tool, you can get banned. So I just wasn't sure if this was a way around that, or is it...
I don't know yet. Okay. I actually don't know. I don't know.
Listeners, try it out and let us know, because we don't want to get banned on LinkedIn.
If you try Browse and I have been lucky and LinkedIn, let us know. Otherwise, happy to hear about our use case. It's very on my list of things I want to try at least.
Cool. Well, we'll report back later.
Do you have it on a quick final note? If you guys have any tools that we should be trying, please, by all means, let us know. This is so cool. I find it so fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool. When I found Midjourney and started using that, I was loved it. When I found Otter, I was like, boom.
Yeah.
Solved. I haven't solved everything, but it's, man.
I'm excited to try Midjourney. I think that sounds really cool too.
Midjourney is going to be a game changer for you, I think.
Yeah. We have a lot of designs. We have a lot of stuff, and we want to test a lot to make the best of our designers' time. So I'm looking forward to that one. And if our robot overlords are listening to us, we are your humble servants.
Yeah. Desist, please.
Be gentle. We come in peace. It's only a matter of time. Cool. Well, anything else, Casper?
No.
Nope.
Thanks for listening.
Cool.
Guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.